Let's bring in Ronke Poshadini. She's the director, Le Posh School, to give her perspective to the coronavirus pandemic. It's good to have you on the program.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, we've always had this scare of coronavirus across the world. It seemed to be like Africa was immune, looking at the casualty figures and the rate of its spread, but now it's upon us, at least 12 cases. How do you view this whole scenario?
Pretty scary. And yes, as you said rightly, it did seem like we were immune from everything, and then all of a sudden, it's like gaining ground, it's gaining speed. I represent the educational sector, and we know how there's a lot of contact amongst children. So the minute we started hearing, okay, the first case, second case, they looked to be contained. But then the third one, then 5 more, then it's just really, really frightening. And diseases really spread rapidly amongst children because they will keep touching each other.
All right. Now, the federal government has ordered all schools to close.
Yes.
And certainly, we expect that directive to be adhered to. But before then, what kind of measures were you putting in place amongst children?
So just like the UNICEF had said and WHO, we should continue washing our hands. Yeah. And it's a practice even since the Ebola. So once they come into school, they tend to wash their hands before the activity of the day starts. So when the coronavirus started, we were ensuring that they were washing their hands. Many of the parents were sending children to school with sanitizers as well. So this was happening, constant hand washing and sensitizing the children, letting them know and understand what coronavirus is and the impact and what it can actually do to human beings. So we've been doing that. The awareness is that the children are not ignorant of what is happening, but obviously they're not happy that school is going to be closed.
and so, well, I understand that I know some schools that began exams since Monday, so should be wrapping up today. I guess that's what the government had in consideration before pushing this shutdown to Monday. But now we've had some schools rushing, having as much as 7 subjects on Thursday alone and having to finish up by today. Are we dealing with long-term or short-term effects, on the psyche of the child as we do this kind of overkill?
Like I keep saying to the schools, examination is not the end-all and be-all. It's just an aspect. There's continuous assessment that have been going on throughout the term, which can be accumulated and used. We don't know how long it's going to go on for. It might be that at the beginning of, we might resume in April. Who knows how long it's going to be. They can also sit their exams then. Examination is just an aspect. It's not everything. So if you put the pressure on the children, doing well in an exam is state dependent. So a child that is not in the right state, that knows the content, may not do well in the examination because the pressure is too much or something has happened. So we shouldn't put everything around the examination. It's just an aspect. That's all.
What impact do you think this is going to have, especially on the educational sector after now? Because from the economy to agriculture to and all of that, analysts have said there's going to be a ripple effect of this continually. But if we narrow it to education, what impact is this going to have?
I mean, if it goes on and on, schools are really going to have to embrace e-learning. I know generally, and it's a generalization, that a lot of teachers are afraid of technology, and that is pretty much going to be the only way that they will be able to communicate with the children, because there's only so much in terms of sending notes home that you can do. So you'd have to embrace e-learning, and I hope that many more schools will be open to using e-learning to communicate and interact with the children.
So right now, what is priority now? We've seen, messages, whittling down so that children can understand the impact, how serious this is. I mean, I've seen, basic tips that even, the young child, can adhere to. But how do you view the education, so to speak, now on, safety tips against the coronavirus for the children? How safe are our children, really, if you look at the standards of our schools across the nation, or Lagos, for example?
So across the nation, so I will have to generalize. I would say there's danger if it's across the nation, because there are schools. So yes, I'm in the private sector, but I'm not ignorant of what happens in the public sector, where there's issues with sanitation and water and things like that. So they might not be washing and using the fancy sanitizers, alcohol-based sanitizers and things like that. So there will be danger if we don't, well, they've closed down the schools now anyway. So I think that's the way to go. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Poshadini, for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right. Ronke Poshadini, Director, La Posh Schools, joins us now to bring us perspective to the trends in the society. It's nice to have you join us
Thank you
this
for
morning.
having me. Good morning.
Now,
Good morning.
let's begin with the issue of panic. I know you would have heard a lot of things. Now, some persons have even accused the media of spreading panic about coronavirus. It's not as bad as we hear it. It's not as bad as we hear it. But the moment there is breaking news, the numbers have increased, and it sends shock amongst the people.
Absolutely.
But what do you make of that? What are people saying when it comes to from the area of panic?
People are panicking.
Wow.
So whether they say it or not, they are panicking. And even before the ban, children have stopped coming to school. You go to the supermarket, they're panic buying already. That's what everybody is talking about. So people are panicking.
Wow.
And okay, so your school had even, taken, measures from what you were telling us a while ago, taking measures, especially for toddlers, for those in creche. And we are also seeing several organizations even here in TVC also, telling, shutting down the creche, at least until it is safe to open it. But then, so from Monday, schools will be shut and children will be, so what happens? What happens to parents now have to take some time off work to tend to them? How do we avoid a crisis as from Monday?
From Monday, yes, parents have to work with their employers have to be sensitive to what is happening at the moment. The younger babies will need their parents there because even if you have a secondary caregiver like a nanny or whatever it is, uncle, you find that the rate of abuse also increases at this time. There's verbal abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's sexual abuse that happens when children are not in school a lot of the time. So that time needs to be taken off for the next 2 weeks because the timing, coronavirus shouldn't be here yet, but the timing is a better time now, for lack of a better way to put it, because it's actually end of term. Children are supposed to have the exams and do the last few things, revision and the likes. So for La Poche School, for example, we'll still engage the children online till the 3rd when we're actually supposed to close. And we would use e-learning. We'll use technology to engage, but we can't use technology to engage a little baby in the creche. So you would, how much entertainment can you do from morning till night? So we will need employers to please, we ask that you allow the parents, and not just moms this time, because you know how they do.
Absolutely. I totally
dads
concur.
to also take some time off and stay with these children at home. Please.
All right. Now, the point there is, it's a good thing because I was going to ask you, how should parents engage children this time around? Because no one knows how long the stay at home is going to be. As much as we pray for, we are a praying nation where everyone is praying by the grace of God and stuff and so on. No one knows how long this is going to be. And how should, what should parents be looking at so that children don't lose so much or become so distracted or become so used to not being back in school and then they forget whatever schooling is?
Yeah. So the home is the first school. So when people begin to understand that the home is actually the first school, it's not mandatory that the child goes to an institution before they go to school. So what can you make of it at home? We need to understand, first of all, because I've been seeing a lot of posts online about engaging the children, playtime, this activity, maths, all sorts of things. We need to understand that the children also have emotions. The children also, there's a way that they feel. I asked my 14-year-old, so how are you feeling about coronavirus? Your school is going to close down. The first thing she said to me was, next week is my birthday, Mommy. As in, coronavirus, yes, I know.
There are
but
some events that coronavirus cannot.
So she said, what's going to happen? Am I not going to be with my friends and stuff? So we have to force the birthday to happen today in the school, yes, because it's only cupcakes, really. It's not a big deal. But that's what
Well, she was looking forward to it.
To her. And then the next thing she said was, I have checkpoint exams, which are international exams that she has to sit, and I've been studying for these exams. Then what?
So what?
So connect with the children first and know how they are feeling. Not at this time you do this, at that time you do that, because they're not robots. They also have a way that they have emotions. So let's figure that out and then
fluid.
get their input as well. Absolutely. What is it that they want to do? It's not all book, maths, English, and I think that's not the end of it.
All right, that's a good one. Thank you so much, La Poche Adeni, for your time on the program. All right, we have joining us now Ronke Poche Adeni, Director, La Poche Schools, right here in the studio. It's nice to have you join me right now.
Good morning, thank you.
Well, as much as we become so hopeful as Nigerians and as human beings, a lot of analysts have said that the days ahead because of coronavirus is uncertain and it is gloomy. I wonder if you share that thought.
I don't share that thought,
Okay.
possibly because I'm a pessimist naturally.
All right.
And I know that whilst everything is not perfect, a lot of awareness is in place. I recently returned from Egypt last week, and I saw the measures that were at the airport. I was sanitized twice, my temperature was taken. I came out, banners are everywhere. So it's not like they're sitting down and twiddling their thumbs. There are measures that have been, everyone doesn't know. I mean, I know that. The hawkers that I pass, sometimes I ask them, and they have no idea what coronavirus is. But because we've had Ebola, and we got through it, I'm very optimistic that we'll get through this as well.
Okay, but can we narrow it down to, you know, the children which happen to be your immediate constituency? So I know the horror stories I hear when it's vacation period. I know I have also experienced some of them. Well, it's not that bad, but you know, sometimes you just wonder what you do with, you know, toddlers with all their energy during that period. And now this is not a normal period, but we are now having to live a new normal. I may borrow the words, you know, of experts on this. So what do you do with children? Are there, like, you know, maybe websites you could take up, pull off your head now to, you know, further engage them, or are there, you know, some specifics, you know, careful habits that we just need to imbibe now?
Yes, the first thing that a lot of people are doing now is which websites can we go, which online portals can we go, and it's all fancy and new age and technology, but what are the old-fashioned values that you can teach your children? How to dress, how to speak properly, talk to adults, how to behave. What are those, how to dress up? Why can't we just tell them the normal things, how to cook in the kitchen? This is a good time to learn your family values.
And even bond.
And even bond. Read a story. Let's forget the technology for a while, and let's make it family time. That's my own recommendation. It's not all about technology and trying to be fancy.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because we're further disengaging from you just put them in front of one app or one website, and then you carry on with your own business on Instagram and being a slave mama. No, bond with those kids, and daddy too, slave papas. Oh, yeah. Bond with your children.
No, I like the sound of that. But how much of effort do you see? Because like, for instance, in less than an hour now, the Minister of Health will be addressing the nation, giving updates, and he has been, the NCDC, that's the National Center for Disease Control, has been doing that. Also on social media, Twitter, they've been out there every 2 hours or 3 hours, any update, they put it out there. Yeah. But if you listen to one of the reports we played earlier on, people are still saying, what is coronavirus and all of that? How much awareness or how much of trickling down are all these efforts getting to the people from your perspective?
I think for the, for lack of a better word, let me see, with the elites, they know about it. Like I said just shortly ago, I tried to buy something from someone, and I was just joking. I said, I hope this your thing doesn't have coronavirus. And he was looking at me.
Very blunt.
I thought he didn't hear me. I said, I hope it doesn't have coronavirus. Cyrus. So I was like, you don't even know about coronavirus. What's going on here? Because I was of the assumption that people actually know, but firsthand I realized that there are people that don't know about coronavirus. So the awareness has to be there. I did see a BBC production in Pidgin English about coronavirus, but it doesn't connect with the everyday man. It was in a fancy house. It was in a. It's not something that they can actually connect with. We need to get down and dirty. Say, coronavirus, they keep person, making a day careful, working and washing their hand, come on for people, you know, that kind of thing. We need that. I'm seeing the fancy ads, glossy ones, but we need those ones that will connect with the everyday man. Coronavirus, you know, in different languages.
Okay.
That is what we need.
I see.
Yeah. What about this trend of panic buying? I know. Can you stop it? Have you joined the bandwagon? How prepared are you?
Well, someone like me, I buy in bulk because I don't like to go to the market all the time. I'm a very busy person. I buy in bulk, I cook in bulk. So right now, I'm fine. Yesterday, I was at a supermarket. I saw people buying tissue and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, why do we copy everything we see the Western people doing? Yeah. Tissue and stuff. We have water. Let's use water. What are you panic buying for? Let's take each day as it comes. As it comes. Because, okay, what if in a month this thing has all cleared up and we're on top of it? Then what? As I said, I'm an optimist. I'm not going to panic buy anything.
Yeah.
And I'll be fine.
Everything will be fine.
And this is Nigeria.
I like that. This is Nigeria. Leposh Adeni, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Right.